this any longer.
If you reveal your secret identity, you'll have to leave Bikini Bottom.
I'm sorry, SpongeBob. I just can't live like this anymore. I'm tired of pretending to be someone I'm not. I have an announcement to make.
So let me get this straight. You're not.
Howdy guys, this is Red Pun Steroids coming at you again with another video tonight. And tonight I'm going to be doing a bit some late night training tonight. I'm going to be going outside, getting in that punch bag, getting on the skipping ropes, training in the garden for about an hour, get some really good cardio up, get my heart going, and get into really good shape for when I go on holiday to Scotland again in October. So I'm doing that tonight after I've done this talk. So tonight's topic is going to be your soulmate and why she does not even exist. You have to face reality, gentlemen, that the perfect woman for you who you think completes you, you know, your dream woman who you see through Hollywood, Scarlett Johansson, Margot Robbie, Jessica Alba, you know, all these chick flicks, it shows you women being caring and nurturing to men, and like that program of like Whitney Houston of The Bodyguard, and all these soppy chick flicks, like the man's the perfect one and he meets his soulmate as Whitney Houston, he texts her, they fall in love, because he plays the role of the White Knight, saving the damsel of distress from assassination. All this socialization of indoctrination, of finding the perfect soulmate, is the very thing that socializes men into blue pill conditioning, socialization of the beta male mindset. So let's talk about the society's definition of the soulmate. Society's definition of the soulmate is someone who can equally reciprocate mentally, emotionally, love you unconditionally, and is someone who can help build you up and can even help you get out of the despairs of depression. If you lose your job, your so-called soulmate, who's your wife or girlfriend, will love you unconditionally. She'll always help you through the tough times of losing your job. Or if you suffer ill health, women will be there to look after you in times of sickness. A soulmate is somebody who has formed a deep-rooted emotional, mental connection with you over the passage of time in your relationship. So society teaches. A soulmate is somebody who is selfless and puts the needs of her husband, boyfriend and children first. A soulmate to a man is a woman who trusts in his leadership and his ability to run and manage the household's finances and the decision-making things in society. Now, as I've read the societal definition of what a soulmate is, I'm like, that's all predestined, that God brought us together. He didn't. Because at the end of the day, the decisions that we make in life, when it comes to meeting the right type of sexual partner, if you're a purple pill or a blue pill man, doesn't work, because there's no such thing as divination. There's no such thing as predestination, because free will is the thing that dictates our future. Our choices and our decisions that we make dictate the course of the future. The future is liquid. It's constantly in motion, alternating and turning. And when all these sort of false sort of like law of attraction experts who say, you know, if you be positive, you be romantic, you be nice to women, you'll attract the perfect woman to you. But women see if you're nice or you're expressive or loving, they will take advantage of that and exploit that, hijack your good nature. Now, as we saw in the inferences of this paragraph here that I've just read, if you lose your job, we know that when the money goes down, the woman's status goes down. And so what happens with women is that when they are struggling financially and their friends and family are doing better than they are, socially and economically, women will give a man a time set to build his status back up and leave. Obviously, if a man comes back from war, he loses his leg, he has PTSD, he has a serious industrial accident from his job, women will leave that man, because women are not there to be caregivers to men. They don't fucking care. Women have a very mercenary approach to relationships and an opportunistic one. And this is why you must be cold to women and you must be indifferent to them. You've got to treat them how they treat you. You men have to be selfish. You men have to put yourself first and stop putting these women on pedestals. Something that the purple pill men are not quite learning about with female interactions. They know the nature to a point, but they're not applying the red pill nature further and further because they're letting the biology of one-itis rule them. So let's get further into the soul mate myth. So you are not going to meet your better half because that is not even a person. There's no such thing as meeting your better half, somebody who is there to complete you. The soulmate concept is a myth. You cannot ever forecast the future of any relationship. Now, according to the American Psychological Association, couples who believe in the predestination of romantic destiny are more likely to end their relationships. And why is this? By believing in romantic destiny, they place relationship stressors on their relationships, and these type of couples refuse to accept that anything could go wrong in their relationship until it's too late, and then they've got egg in the face because they're both a bunch of dickheads. End of the day, law of attraction, you know, you can attract certain things into your universe when it comes to being successful, when it comes to being driven, but you can't attract females to your universe because end of the day, women come and go as they please, just like cats. Women are selfish and they don't have any sort of unconditional qualities such as love, loyalty or commitment because again, it's biologically encoded into her own DNA. It's always self-doubt whether or not she has made the right decision. I mean, look at the meme that we've seen in the manosphere with Lois Lane sleeping with Superman. She gets out of bed and she sits over by thinking, is this the best I can do? So women don't even have a social connection to a man on a philosophical and intellectual and emotional level because women only see it on the basis of status and resources. Let's carry on. The thought of two people becoming one should terrify you because you are not a human centipede. Now I've seen this film, guys. Fucking guys, if you've got a fucking bit of a warped sense of humour but are fucking funny, you should watch Human Centipede because that's what it is. This guy, right, this mad doctor, right, breaks the arms and legs, well, should I say the elbows and kneecaps of his victims, and he stitches the mouth onto the other person's bum and makes a human centipede of three. Fucking, it's sick. When one centipede man eats the food, the other one who's on the back of his bum gets that through his shit, and then the other one at the end gets the fucking all the crap going through the body, which is gross. But it's a true analogy because you are not a centipede. You are not attached to anybody. You are a complete independent soul. And that to say that you need a soulmate is to say that you're incomplete. You have all what you need as men, emotionally, mentally, and financially, to help you get by. And this sort of feminized myth of the perfect one is a full misconception. Now, a recent study that came out from the North and Western Chicago shows that married men increasingly suffer from emotional suffocation. Now, what do we see with married men? Married men give up their time, attention, their hobbies to pursue big businesses, their hobbies to pursue instruments, to play instruments that they enjoy, to go for nice walks, to go out with their friends, into parks, to beers, to bars, to go on sort of vacations together with the guy mates. They lose all this because the women become possessive of men. And this happens when women will often become possessive and police a man's behaviour. And this is why we have a lot of emotional suffocation in marriage and long-term relationships today, thanks to these feminized Nazis in relationships. For a man to be codependent for a woman makes him weak and vulnerable. Every time men put on the pedestal a woman, it gives her the opportunity to look down on him. Now, the inference of this, how does a man put a woman on a pedestal? Well, basically, he gives her loads of validation when she doesn't deserve it. He buys her gifts just for having sex with him every now and then, you know, or showing him compliments a little bit. You know, women treat men just well enough to receive all the gifts and perks. But men are not thinking, hang on a minute, I need to stop rewarding your bad behaviour, shit test, you playing up, having all these emotional mood swings and being argumentative. I know we're all good behaviour, but men don't do this, you see. And so when it says about putting a woman on a pedestal, how else does this happen? When men who have got wives or girlfriends will pay for their wife or girlfriend's student loans. Now, a lot of these men could be just working class men. They could be average accountants, engineers, you know, and they pay for the wife or girlfriend's education. And because she's got a PhD or bachelor's or a degree, by the societal standards, she's educated. And because she has no depth, thanks to the appreciation of the time and effort that man has sacrificed into her, She looks upon him thinking, well, I'm better than you now. I have the status of fucking bachelor. So I'll just get rid of you. I'll cash you in for somebody on my level, not forgetting that that man was the stepping stone to actually getting you to where your future is. And so women will gladly use men as a stepping stone when they elevate themselves on that pedestal. So men continue to disrespect themselves by forgoing to go to college, forgoing to go university, sabotaging their own personal goals and hobbies just to cater to women. Being codependent with a woman just makes him weak. Again, all these lost opportunities for going to go to college to get extra engineering skills or take a master's degree if you can get a job in the field, if it's going to be a lawyer, solicitor, craftsman, engineer, H&C designer or electrician. A lot of these men forgo these things and their hobbies, and it kills men inside, because you see that a lot of men these days who are married are fucking miserable. You see them at Christmas time, come on love, let's go out spending in Tesco's. Oh, I've got a nice £500 voucher. Come on, let's fucking spend. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Money, money, money must be funny in the rich man's world. Because that's all women think about at Christmas time. All the things I can do with his motherfucking money. And when it comes to January, the husband's spent out. Now, whatever money he's got for January sales, right, a woman will look upon her husband or boyfriend scornfully saying, aren't you going to spend that on me? Actually, no, fuck you. You've blown the money and you've shown how irresponsible you are. Every single year, women go ballistic over Christmas. But do women fucking know where Christmas came from? Let me tell you some esoteric symbols. Christianity came from Babylon, Nimrod worship. We don't understand that because they think commercialism, buy. And so this is the thing where men become weak. You know what I mean? And they're miserable. All the men that you see that don't have hobbies, don't have interests because the wife doesn't let them go out, or they've got to ask permission, or they've got to ask their missus to go out. That's fucking pathetic. And you men that allow this to go on are pathetic. You're disgusting. You are a fucking disgrace to call yourself men. If you're scared of saying to your girlfriend or wife that you're going out doing your own hobbies or going to the gym. Now, a lot of my friends in the past who I used to knock about with as witnesses, the girlfriends got overly possessive because if the boyfriends went to the gym, they'd know all the girls would be doing Pilates classes in the tight fit jeans and the fucking, tight fit like leggings and the nice shorts and the nice ass, the caps. And when we was running the treadmill, we could see all the girls in front of us in the class doing all their exercises, and my witness friends would often perv at them when they've got the girlfriends there, and women would get so upset about it because in that tribal mentality, it's like, oh, well, you should be paying attention to me. Competition. That's how pathetic women are. And men, again, you should not be giving up your hobbies. You should not be giving up your goals and aspirations to be someone better than you are in a relationship. And if you're happy, your wife will try to sabotage you, play up, act out, just to make you miserable so it puts a smile on her face, because women love chaos and order. And this is why the soulmate myth does not exist, ladies. Love does not exist because you fucking killed it. Let's carry on. The whole misconception of women being loving, nurturing creatures is a grave misconception. Women are incapable of being loyal to anybody but themselves. They're not loyal to their husbands, they're not loyal to their boyfriends. Women don't have any loyalty to their friends or family or social circle unless it's a direct benefit to them. Now, when you're being successful, mgtow gentlemen, right? I'm doing successful in my work. I'm living a decent life for myself, right? But I don't openly display it. But because of my body language and the way I walk, when I go out shopping, women can have an air of detecting when I have a conversation with them at the counter. Just a bit of chit chat. Women can pick up on a man's success, and they'll always probe, what do you do? The typical gold digging questions, because women will not speak to you unless you're going to benefit them. And this is why you need to cut these selfish, narcissistic, parasitical, Jezebel, Black Widow, Mantis, spiders off, because they don't benefit you. And this soulmate myth is to do the fucking alien parasite, the spawn that jumps in your face, lays them eggs, and an alien comes out your belly and rips you apart. That's what women do, because women can turn feral at any time. Women do not love you. And I keep saying this all the time, that there's no such thing of loyalty towards a woman. It's biologically hardwired into a woman to always doubt whether you are good enough for her when she's got her own emotional insecurities. And if she can't work that out before she gets in a relationship with a man, in society, then she shouldn't date at all. She should just become a fucking eunuch and not bother with men at all if she can't control her own hypergamy. So women as a whole will gradually destroy the lives of family members, friends, co-workers, female friends who pose a threat to her obtaining resources from the high status male. Again, if a good-looking alpha male, sigma male walks into the room, he's got confidence, he's got the lifestyle trappings, he can socialise with a variety of people at the bar or even family outings or social events, and a woman in the female group likes that man and she likes him, but if the high status man is showing the attention more to the female that she's in competition with, women will absolutely go mad and they will do anything to destroy a woman's reputation. Again, women will often backstab, play passive-aggressive games. They will put their females down because at the end of the day, they will slander one another to get that high status male. They do not care how they get the high status male because it's all about survival. This is the reptilian side of the female brain, fight or flight. And this is where women do not have souls. Women are extremely vicious. They will slander, they will use defamation of character amongst their own female friends or families if it means getting the high status male who they're in competition with. Or if the other woman gets the high status male, she will make it sure that she's socially excluded from the group and play passive aggressive games. So this is where women don't have souls, because they're incapable of rational or logical thought. When you say to a woman, why did you do that to your girlfriend? Why was you so mean to her? Oh, I just felt that way. They don't say I think because they're thick. They can't relate high consciousness to heart. You know, they think on their emotions. And this is where they can be very dangerous because they're very, very, very reactive to every situation because they don't think long-term ahead of how they're going to destroy one of their female friends by their reckless, emotional, ill-thought-out actions. It's all primal with women. So women will manipulate their partners if they are more happy than they are, so that they don't have an advantage over them, so that they're living a more self-fulfilling life. Women will often bring their husbands or men down by knocking their confidence or constantly playing up or playing games or finishing them with holding sex, being passive-aggressive. These are all the things the purple pill man who thinks he's having a bit of nookie, a bit of action, has got all this to go through. You see, when I do mgtow content, right, gentlemen, I find mgtow very easy because when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I was always taught every time that I study material, I apply it, I learn it, I ponder and meditate on that material. If we apply, ponder and meditate on the red pill truths that we learn, right, and we have that good-looking woman, right, if some mgtow men decide to pump and dump a woman if they want to, that's their own prerogative. But I know for a fact that when I'm cold reading women, if they approach me at the bar, I already know for a fact the type of mannerism, the tonality, after about half an hour conversation, that I am not going to get involved with this woman whatsoever. I'm not going to sleep with her. I'm not going to bother with her because I've mastered my own biology. I'm not infallible. The reason why I have to make mgtow content for me is to keep me on the straight and narrow, to be my mgtow monk. This is the way, you know, you've got to have strength of will. It's not strength of arms by saying you mgtow for your label. It's regular appliance of the philosophy in your own life according to your own individual needs. So again, women do not believe in peace and unity or harmony in a relationship. Women need to have a constant barrage of conflict and drama and chaos to make them feel happy. When a woman's pissed you off in a relationship and you're going up, you're punching the walls because you don't know how to venerate, you don't know how to reply back to your female because you can't argue with women because women operate in emotion, they throw things out all the time, and you realise that you can't get through to a stubborn, narcissistic woman, men just self-destruct. And when women see men walk off, they're like that Dr. Evil. Very good. That's how women are. They have a smile on their face because they love to see misery. They love to see drama. They love to see conflict. Women are not peaceful, stable beings to be with. And this is why, again, I say to you, by the female nature, it does not fucking exist that she is the perfect soulmate to complement a man's life. So women will often act up, play out, do various shit tests on a man to sabotage your goals and aspirations in a relationships if she does not come first. If women do not come first and they are not the centre of your universe, as women should not be the centre of your universe, you should be on your purpose and drive, women will often play out and throw mood swings because they're not receiving enough attention. Women are not self-sufficient to be confident on their own. Male masculinity, once a man takes a red pill, he can survive on his own whether or not he's married or with a woman or not. Masculinity is all about purpose, drive, mission, success, breaking down barriers and being self-sufficient from having emotional engagements with women. MGTOW masculinity is about having emotional detachment from society and looking at society in a cold, objective way, or what we look at today. So, to me, MGTOW masculinity is all about being stoic. It's about being mentally and emotionally detached from female nature, because you can't love women, you can't hate them, you've got to just understand them. That this soulmate myth, they perpetuate that lie themselves in order to trap you. So women will often sabotage each other and destroy each other's characters when it comes to competing for the best man, as I've just said, for the most resources, the most cash and prizes. That's how it is. Women fight like each other in a virtual minefield of fucking Tekken. All the mind games, Law and fucking Yoshimitsu on the Tekken battlefield of mind games. That's how women operate when it comes to competing for men, because they're very primal, they're very primitive, and they're very savage on the social manipulation game of fighting for that high status man. So women at the end of the day are incapable of loyalty to men. They are not even capable to have loyalty to their friends or family. It's not in a woman's nature to be loyal to anybody that does not directly benefit her own selfish, hypergamous nature. Women will only have the friends and family around them that can benefit her life, whether it's social attention, money or status, or just being there in companionship. Women do not do things for a reason, and this is why women are very transactional in their nature. And again, this is why men, MGTOW men, we encourage MGTOW men to keep on going down the path of being a MGTOW, because it's a healthy, beneficial way. If you guys, MGTOW men, listen to me, right? I'm not teaching anybody to hate women, because we know their nature. But what I'm teaching men in general to do is basically, if you need to go and fucking sleep with a woman desperately, get a sex doll, go and watch fucking pornography, rub one out, do whatever it takes, as long as you don't actually settle down with cohabitating with a woman and having children, where them children can be weaponized against you, and she uses the big daddy government to actually sabotage you and leave you in handball and shackles to being a fucking consumer slave. Just remember, man, if you need to get a sex doll, look at pornography, rub one out, do whatever it takes, as long as you don't settle down with a woman, you don't cohabitate with a woman, because at the end of the day, she's only going to destroy your life. Knowing what you know on this channel about female nature and many other MGTOW content creators, because not one female content creator, Red Pill female content creator, has turned around and said, Red Pill on steroids, you are telling lies, you're talking out your ass. Because all you MGTOW men know from your experience, know by facts, know by statistics, know by the media, that women are incapable of loyalty and they cannot commit to good, decent men, because it's not in their biology to settle down or be loyal. So it's not in her capacity to be loyal to her friends. It's not in her capacity to be loyal to her friends, family or tribe. Women do not have loyalty. Loyalty will always be rationed out and conditioned. And so it's not in a woman's biological nature to love you, to love your friends, to love your family, and even sometimes your children, unless she's going to get a benefit out of that when it comes to resources and status, because this is the cold hard truth of females. You know, this is what that book, was it Vera Villain, said about the manipulated man. This is the cold, objective truth of female nature. The Jezebel, the praying mantis, the black widow spider, the rattlesnake. Women can strike very spontaneously when it comes to detonating the nuclear family and the life with the husband. So every time that a woman turns around and says, oh, I'm not like that Red Pill on steroids, I love men, I cook for my man every night and I look after him and I feed him, I suck his cock in the morning, I let him fucking shoot his cum with my fucking cornflakes and I'm there eating it with my milk. Every woman by definition will say on this channel, oh, I'm not like that, I'm a fucking unicorn, I am. I'm a fucking unicorn. How fucking dare you? You don't have a fucking clue what men are all about. Of course we do. Because any time that you women claim to be in a woke, just remember, them laws are always in place for you to turn from a no-wall to an a-wall. all the time. Doesn't matter, even if you're a strong traditional woman from another country that doesn't have any sort of feminism, as soon as women become indoctrinated with feminism in this country, they all turn to AWOLs because women are. So by default, women will always try to deny the nature and say that they are unicorns when they are fucking mercenaries. Women are fucking mercenaries when it comes to every relationship, every friendship, every interaction. They are the Boba Fett out of Star Wars. They take payment for jobs. They're mercenary, opportunistic, and shallow. So just remember that. So let's finally debunk this soulmate myth. A soulmate is a missing half of the incompletion of a man. But the thing is, the missing half is a danger. When it says about, oh, you're missing my other perfect half of a soulmate, there's a danger in this, because the danger is of believing in this concept that the other perfect half is always going to be there for us, always going to be when the grass is green on the other side. Women have this all the time in their own hypergamy. They believe that, you know, the soulmate there is there, but women, again, set themselves up for heavy delusions and unrealistic expectations when it comes to wanting the perfect soulmate. Thanks to the socialisation of Beauty and the Beast, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, fucking Sex in the City, Friends, you name it. Bridget Jones's Diary, all these things that socialise women into thinking with their own hypergamy that they can get the best looking man, their best status. And again, hypergamy never settles. It's always in constant doubt. It's impossible to meet your other half, your perfect other half, ladies, who's already complete. Now, women expect to think they can find the unicorn, the male unicorn, of having 6 figures, having a nice car, a big cock, nice house, good social status, and he has the lifestyle trappings for her to just come in, spread her legs. But unfortunately, if women can't bring anything into a relationship other than sex, women are redundant. They are literally discarded, useless tools for men, because men like to build things and women like to tear down. In fact, women like to drain things down, because women are all about the fucking hive mind. Women are like lemons. When it comes to socialisation of like finding the perfect man through the socialisation of Beauty and the Beast, the Seven Dwarfs, all these chick flicks, women are fucking lemons. Women are incapable of having any sort of individuality when it comes to doing introspection about how to find the right man, because women have lost touch with their own feminine energy. So what you've got to understand, a soulmate is a real breathing person that has many flaws and many habits that you do not like. A soulmate is an individual. It's not like somebody completes you. Every individual that every woman makes or every guy makes, you know, basically has flaws, has characteristics that they do not like and will annoy them all the time. And so this misconception that the soulmate is there by divination, by the laws of attraction of the universe, it doesn't exist. And that is a very grave misconception. So the whole misconception is to say that meeting a soulmate is predestined by the fate of God or the universe to meet the right one. There is no such thing as predestination, as I've stated before, because predestination is influenced by free will and choice, as that alters the course of our futures. And so it doesn't matter if Christians or anybody religious prays for the perfect one. It doesn't happen. People will always judge each other on characteristics and social status and standing. You know, and all this sort of social attraction, this sexual energy that two couples are engaging in when they first meet each other, thinking that they're the one, they're the perfect one, and after 6 months, they can't stand each other because we all have flaws. And this is where the unrealistic expectation of indoctrination of Hollywood has worked very well with women. And this is why women are single, because they've overpriced themselves out of the dating market when it comes to marriage and relationships. Again, when they've been on the CC and they've had sex with loads of guys, they forfeit their ability to have strong fertility with a decent guy who would have took them in and raised a stable family. Once women have more than like 1 guy, 2 guys, that's it. She has no ability to pair bond with a man because she's always seeking the bigger and better deal. And this is where the misconception of this perfect soulmate is redundant. It doesn't exist. It fits the feminine imperative very well, but we'll carry on. So the second point I'd like to make, women will often lure men into a false sense of security by saying that not all women will cheat, not all women will rob you of your money through the divorce courts. But a lot of the time women do. When women say they're a strong, independent woman, they don't need no man, Why is it you're getting child support from the husband or boyfriend? Why is it you felt the need to take half that man's success? If he's bought the house, he's paid for the car, he's paid for everything, why do you need to have your hands on his 401k or his pension plan in the UK? You see, you're not strong and independent. You're crooks, you're villains, you're bandits. And you women have no morality or conscience when it comes to family courts and divorce courts, because you seem to think that you can keep on marrying men up and then divorcing them, chipping them in the casino and play the game all over again. And as the years go by, your fertility window and the wall hits you, that is your punishment. And that is where you'll look back and realise, shit, I had a good thing here, but I blew it. Fucking enjoy your cats. So we see that laws are in place for women to cheat and extort and throw men under the bus when it comes to the feminist divorce courts. So when Red Pill men and MGTOW men, the female handbook of female nature, of the female dual sexual strategy, of the alpha fucks and beta bucks, men are no longer going to risk any sort of commitment to a woman, because women expect to be honoured veteran sluts in a cock carousel, but expect men to be traditional men and to wait their turn so that they can provide for them later. No, I want to see women, right, and I don't mean it in a bad way. If you women are in debt and there's a recession when it happens, you deserve to be homeless. You deserve every bad thing that happens to you if you destroy a man's life through the divorce courts. If you can't find a man once you divorce the original father of your children and you can't find a man to settle down with, that's on you. If he's been nothing but a good traditional man to you, right, and you've destroyed his life either way, then you don't deserve to have any relationship. And when your children grow up, they will see the bad example you have set. So we can see that MGTOW men do not fall for the laws of false commitment and marriage and relationships to women. Women spin that women can be all nurturing, they can be loving, they can be in the perfect committed relationship. But MGTOW men know that women no longer hold the values of traditionalism. And so women, as we see, are selfish by their nature. And this is why MGTOW is the most logical, peaceful, diplomatic way to opt out of traditional relationships and marriage with women, because women are no longer wife material. Women are no longer girlfriend material. They're hoes, they're whores, they're slappers, they're mercenaries, they're mantis, they're black widow spiders. They are the trash of the trash. And that's going for a majority of them. Not all women, but a majority. Again, a lot of women will say, oh, you hate women. I do not hate women, I understand them. And your actions, women, are a reflection of what's going on in society, why the dating market's crashing, why the jewellery stores are closing, why men aren't getting married, because you're not changing the laws. You women do not care about changing the laws because it benefits you so much. And so when you start to say your own definition of man up, you know, a man should take care of a woman. No. You stand on your own feet, you got the vote, you got the chance to work, you got the time to earn your own property, see it through, because men are not providing for you. In a red pill society, you will work the same amount of hours as men, you will go on the front lines the same as men, you will do everything that men do. That's what you have in an egalitarian system. And so you women are trying to sabotage that by saying, oh, well, the gender pay gap. I've got another article to cover, guys. I'm going off a bit topic now about women in university in the UK that want to have engineering courses made easier for them so they can pass and compete with men. Well, ladies, if you can't compete in engineering courses to the same criteria of education of men, then it's not going to be made easier for you and you should leave that field. So anyway, let's get back to my notes. So we can see again, we have this social feminization of men being brought up like women, being emotional, not being able to have masculinity inside them. Men as a whole have unrealistic expectations of monogamy, thanks to the socialization of Walt Disney again, and social media, and chick flicks, and social TV programming. Men seem to think that women can be monogamous and love them forever, but now because us red pill men have blew the mask off female hypergamy, we've blown the mask off female nature, and we've given the handbook to every single man in the manosphere, now women are running scared because they realise doesn't matter if they shut mgtow down on YouTube, it'll still come back on YouTube when Fairtube comes back on. But mgtow is going to be growing, it's going to be expanding, and they're going to realise that men are not going to bother with you. And so this is a great thing to keep on arming men with red pill knowledge. It's good reminders for me, in case I get a bit thirsty and I want to go and have a one night stand. I always remember my mgtow content. I always take these words of the mgtow philosophy to heart, because no mgtow man, doesn't matter if he's a monk, doesn't matter if he's like living for himself, no mgtow man is immune from slipping up. And this is why we need to keep on reading red pill content, watching red pill content, because it helps build us, it helps fortify us like a copper and iron city to keep on walking down that path of fortification to full self-actualization, full self-realization of the type of life that you deserve as a fucking MGTOW man. Never forget that. So when it comes to this whole lie often makes men feel suicidal. Men have been lied to by the family courts through the feminization of society that women can be monogamous, and when they leave men for the bigger and better deal, it leaves men to be screwed up because his only support network of his children and his wife have gone because she has been selfish, and so it leaves men suicidal in this despair to depression. So when they find out that their wife or girlfriend is nothing more than an opportunist in a relationship, this does make red pill men extremely angry. It makes them very vengeful towards society, but we have a good coping mechanism in the MGTOW community to help build men back up. Society, as I said before, gentlemen, don't give a shit about you. The family courts don't give a shit about you. Your family and friends don't give a shit about you if your girlfriend breaks up with you, because you're told to man up and shut up and carry on with it. Because you've been hollowed out not to have any support networks. You're supposed to be able to carry a city in your own in this gynocentric society. But MGTOW men, the Spartans of 300, all the soldiers who represent MGTOW philosophy will always be there to help you, put you back together and help you get in your purpose. So you'll never be an outcast. To any of you new red pill men who have just gone through the red pill rage, welcome, because this community, this whole philosophy is for you men. So we can see that women will often hold out when it comes to sex because she is trying to moderate the man's own behaviour, using sex as a reward and punishment to modify his behaviour so he can control him. That is the conditioned response to modify a man's behaviour. So when we talk about the concept of love, it does not exist. And women know this very well. They'll often lure men into a trap, and then they'll use sex. They'll have loads of sex at the beginning of dating, and then women use sex as a condition of rewards. How often does he take me out? How much money does he spend on me? How many holidays does he pay for me? Women are prostitutes, right? Women claim all this fucking equality and all that, but when you turn around and say, I'm splitting the bill, equal opportunity, oh, you're not romantic. Well, if love costs money, then fuck you. You don't deserve any sort of relationship with a man, boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a wife. You just dishonest prostitutes. When it comes to divorcing man, destroying MGTOW men's life, you are dishonest prostitutes. And again, women will only use that one bargaining tool to actually alter a man's attitude, modify his behaviour, is sex, reward and punishment. That is it. If men can get past mastering their own biology when it comes to sexual interactions with women, they'll be unstoppable. You see, when a man can't be intimidated by a woman by her looks or beauty or sexuality, it intimidates her because then she must bring something to the table. And when women come to the manosphere of MGTOW, they realise they can't bring anything to the table. We've had all the shaming language, we've had all the arguments thrown at us: gay, cult, misogynist, hate group, sectarians. But we don't hate anybody. We don't encourage violence, we encourage peace. We just encourage men to take the money out of society, work on themselves, get their own business, be debt free, watch the economy, make smart investments. And all the women that come on this channel making all this drama marketing of MGTOW keeps proving the point that women are actually socially and emotionally mature when it comes to understanding MGTOW philosophy. And as I said in previous times, women can't take themselves out of feelings, and because of this, they'll never grasp the red pill, because they are selfish. Got a frog in my throat here. So having one-itis is a very pathology of the soulmate. It serves the soulmate. When a man has one-itis, when he's sexually hooked onto a woman, this suits the soulmate myth perfectly for females. It leaves men emotionally weak. The reason why women don't want to settle with the average man is that she believes that the bigger and better deal is always there when it comes to relationships, to finding her own soulmate. So to conclude, the alpha man or the alpha male that got away from the woman is the ideal soulmate. Now, what do we talk about this? The alpha man who got away, the man who knew about her games of emotional manipulation and knew the games that she was playing, that she was toxic, men who get away from women who are high value, right? Women will always see the man who broke up with them as their soulmate. That's why in some of the times they call them alpha widows. Obviously not alpha widows in the death sense of the husband dying in a war or a fatal accident or an illness, but also alpha widow can apply to many high value men that have left women because of their toxic nature. And so women will often feel a longing for that alpha male who left or the sigma male who left. And so women often get pissed off knowing that they're with a beta male, and so that's why they give him a hard time throwing loads of shit tests and emotional hula hoops for a man to qualify himself. And that's why alpha males can just walk in, because women as a whole will break the rules for alpha males or sigma males when it comes to having sex with them, but a beta male must work, he must earn her trust and make her feel comfortable, not bullshit. Fucking female nature. So what we can see then, guys, women easily believe in a divorce because when it comes to all the money and all the resources that she's built in her family with her husband, she will easily detonate that family. A strong, institutional, traditional family, today women can detonate that like a fucking building. If you built a whole tower of a strong, loving commitment with your children, your wife, your money, your finances, you're debt free, women will often detonate that fucking building. Because they can do. Women feel no remorse when they divorce their husbands and they see their other girl mates divorce their husbands, because women will often use this sometimes in order to chase her heart's desire. She'll always try to rewind in her mind, going back in time to the alpha male, the bad boy, the Chad, in being with him. She thinks that when she's divorced her husband, that she's got 2-3 children, that she can be high value in her deluded, stupid mind, that she can attract this Chad and Tyrone or alpha male to have a relationship with her soulmate. You see, women have this misconception. Soulmate is to do with the man who got away, the man who was lucky and who had an escape and who wasn't burdened with her own toxicity. So that's the thing. That's an alpha widow and the other aspect. So to conclude my topic, the idea of a soulmate is a feminine, emotional tool that women use to exploit and manipulate men into marriage. The governments have turned the soulmate myth into a business empire where marriage, Valentine's Day, anniversaries, Mother's Day is all to benefit women. Women don't have a soul. They can't keep their own marriage vows when it comes to staying loyal and virtuous to their husband. And as we see more and more divorces continue to rise and escalate in society, the more that more men become disconnected emotionally and financially from women. And so men in general will give up altogether on women, because now men are invested in AI, sex bots, sex dolls. Men are investing thousands of pounds of their money into invest in artificial intelligence of women where they can have intelligent conversations regarding women. Women talk about is makeup, shoes and gossip and backstabbing. When men have the perfect humanoid sex bot, that means they have an intellectual conversation about be able to have true companionship with an AI partner, a humanoid, lifelike sex doll, or a sex bot. And that's where women will be replaced, because men have had to go to drastic measures in order to literally get away from these feminized cults. Now, feminism are trying to police all these sex bots coming out by saying they should be regulated. But when these artificial wombs come out, when these sex bots come out, these humanoid sex bots come out where men can have full relationships and intellectual conversations with women in 50 years' time when they become really advanced, it's game over for women, because women no longer have control over reproduction or sexuality, and so women will become obsolete. So women will have the double-end backlash of hypergamy, because then it'll be men who have the choice to pick from the best-looking sex bots, sexoids, and be able to have relationships with them and have children with them in the future. And it's not far off. When we look at films like Blade Runner, when we look at all the science fiction films that is pushing artificial intelligence, artificial women, humanoid women having companionship with real life flesh and blood men, this is just an arm's reach away now from being perfected. And women know this. And so when their reproduction rights go through artificial wombs and they have humanoid sex bots that are made of bioroid, and realistic, game over for women. Women will be homeless. Women will have to work all the hours God sends to keep a roof over their head and not have to provide it there, because you women destroyed it. And so again, this is why the soulmate myth doesn't exist. So ask yourself, gentlemen, let me do an analogy now, guys. Let's talk about dating a woman when it comes to the soulmate myth. Let me put this to you. Why would you want to take a job at a shitty company that gives you no sick pay, no holiday pay, no flexible work hours, no stable pension plan, and you are barely able to survive paycheck to paycheck? Remember that the cost of dealing with women when you enter into a relationship or getting married to her, you get nothing back. And it's true, when you get into a relationship with a woman, you have no benefits whatsoever apart from that thing between the legs. That's it. Because you don't have any sort of benefits, you have no pension plan, you have to provide all that pension plan, savings, living paycheck to paycheck, because the definition of a wife in a woman's eyes is being able to earn more money that she can spend. This deluded mentality of women, again, don't seem to get economics and how things cost. Again, women don't respect money. And so when it comes to this now, with relationships with women, you've got to ask yourself, working with a woman in a relationship is working for a crappy company, because you get nothing of benefit back. She gives you nothing of benefit back. She doesn't reciprocate anything back to you when it comes to birthday gifts and presents. If you buy her a massive birthday gift, she'll get you a tiny one because she wants to save her money so she can spend on the next sale. That's how women are, you know, and that's the deal you're going to get if you go into a marriage or a long-term relationship. If you're a purple pill man with a certain amount of red pill knowledge. So the soulmate saga with women is the one that got away. The guy that was smart enough not to play her manipulator games. I've recapped, the alpha male was the one who was smart enough, the sigma male was smart enough not to keep on playing her games of manipulation. He pumped and dumped her, and he got his chance of redemption and got out of there. So hypergamy will always cause a woman to doubt herself and her decisions at picking the right type of sexual partner. So when women believe the grass is greener on the other side, that is a soulmate myth. And that's the soulmate myth that they perpetuate amongst themselves. And they socialise men that women can do no wrong. And they are all sugar and spice, everything nice. Again, hypergamy is all about self-doubt for women. The grass is greener on the other side. And that's how they perpetuate the soul myth amongst themselves. Because feminization in this society, it's all about female security. And so female security comes at a cost where a man is not awoken to the truth of female nature. Because once a man wakes up to female nature, he's never going to settle down with her. He probably might have sex with her casually, but that's about it. He'll have no other commitment with a woman whatsoever, because he's got the female playing handbook when it comes to her sexual duplicity of alpha fucks and beta bucks. So remember, gentlemen, that you are a soul and that you don't need women for any sort of companionship or any sort of emotional completion, because you all have it, mid-town men. You have a manosphere. You have a manosphere of men who are willing to build you up, support you in every asset of your life. You've got a lot of things you can do. You've got time, attention, and money, you know, and this is something that many married men will envy single mid-town red pill men, because they don't have this type of attention with women. Now, I'd just like to conclude with a scripture. New Jerusalem Bible. I've got to admit, I've been picking up the Bible as of late, and I've been getting a lot of nuggets out of this. So I'll just go to any of you mid-town Christians. This is 1 Corinthians 7, verses 32 to 35. And let me read this. I would like to see you free from all worry. An unmarried man can devote himself to the Lord's affairs. All he need worry is about pleasing the Lord. But a married man has to bother with the world's affairs and devote himself to pleasing his wife. He is torn two ways. In the same way, an unmarried woman, like a young girl, can devote herself to the Lord's affairs. All she need worry is about being holy in body and spirit. The married man, on the other hand, has to worry about the world's affairs and devote himself to pleasing her. So, I say this to only help you, not to put halter around your necks, but to simply make sure that everything as it should be, and that you should give your undivided attention to the Lord. Now, just getting into that scripture of verses 33, as it says about a man has to worry a lot about the things of the world, because women, what are they worried about? The things of the world, materialism, status. You see, even the Apostle Paul was fucking red-pilled in that scripture of 1 Corinthians 7, 32 to 35, because he realised that when a man gets married to a woman, he has to worry about the world. Women worry about the world of how they look, what kind of shoes and clothes and shopping, the house, the loans that they take out, the money that they spend. They have to worry about the world because women are shallow, materialistic narcissists. And even the Apostle Paul says it in the Bible, that unmarried men can do better, or divorced men can do better without being pair bonded with women because they have nothing of substantial value to build a mgtow or red pill man's life up. So anyway, gentlemen, this is the end of the topic for the soulmate myth and why your soulmate does not exist. This is Red Pill on Steroids, signing out.